second game in a row where we just allowed the opposing team to come in and get a really good rhythm. And so I really loved the last 5 minutes of the game. The level of physical competitiveness was really high, and I just think we're capable of more at the beginning of games, and I think our guys would echo the same sentiment. So, giving up 32, 30, 30, and then 21 tells the story. So we're going to have to just be better at the beginning of the game, really at both ends of the floor, but particularly defensively. Pat, where you been, man?
Rick, did you feel like the force was part of the challenge again tonight, the force you wanted to see your team play with in the first half, especially from?
Yeah, I just went through that. You missed it. Yeah, we got to start. Second game in a row where the opponent just got going right away, and it's an attitude, and it's a disposition, and it's a posture, and I love the way we played in the last 5 minutes of the game. We just were defiantly competitive, and gave up 21 that last quarter instead of an average of 30 and a third points. So we need more of that.
It's been a difficult last couple of weeks for numerous reasons, many of them out of your control. Do you feel like the team's confidence is still in a good place?
I'm not worried about that. You don't need confidence to get angry and play hard. That's a bullshit excuse.
Caris tonight had 27 points and he got to the free throw line 11 times. Are you happy to see him continue to progress and offensively?
Listen, I don't really want to talk about offensive stuff. I just want to talk about how hard we played on defense the last 5 minutes of the game. And look, we got guys that could score, but we need to put more into the defensive end, especially at the beginning of games. And so that's going to be our big emphasis as we go forward.
Chris, from a team perspective, what stands out to you as what caused the biggest challenges and problems tonight?
Let's start from the jump. We let the other team get comfortable and get on that rhythm, and that's what got them going. And then it's hard to stop,
They went with the zone seemingly the whole night, and it seemed like you guys did a decent job against it in the first half. Where did the offensive struggles come from in the second half?
It happens, shots not going in. We're trying, and it just happens. That's part of the game. We just gotta stick together, keep working and keep getting better and learning from that.
Chris, how do you all cultivate some energy, some life? I know Rick called the team out in a couple of games. He pulled the starters in one game. He had the post-game film breakdown. So do you feel like it's something you all have to do as players to just have more energy?
I feel like the energy is there. You see all the motion that is going on. Trying to get it going. It's just the game. Some days it's not good. Some days are good. So, like I said, we just gotta stick together and keep playing and trying to, bounce back and get on that right track. But, I feel like the energy is there. We just gotta come together a little bit more,
Anything else for Chris?
How disappointing is it when you look across and you see that they're missing two of their stars, you're at home, and you're still not able to get a win?
What was the question?
I said, how disappointing is it when you realize they don't have two of their best players, and you're at home, and you're still not able to get the win?
Man, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Caris, from a team perspective, what stands out to you as the biggest struggles here tonight?
I think we started the game, the way we started the game tonight and last game versus the way we finished the game was kind of night and day. And I think that's something we're still figuring out. We could look at it as, we're struggling right now, or we could look at it as it's a lot of games left. And I think we're old enough, more mature enough to look at it as a ladder. It's a lot of games left. It's a lot of time to, fix our mistakes, but we got to do it. It's a lot of talk about what we need to do. Everybody knows what we need to do, but I think it's time for us individually to look in the mirror and do it.
Caris, do you think the bigger issue is execution or effort?
I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely think it's a little bit of both. Early in the game, I feel like it was a little bit of effort. They were hitting some tough shots, fading out of bounds. Carlisle hit one. Duncan hit a couple top of the key. I think if we were, playing 1% harder, maybe they don't make those shots. Maybe they don't have that confidence going into the game. Hitting pull-up threes from 30, transition. And I think the first 5 minutes kind of dictates your rhythm for the rest of the game. And I feel like every one of them got in a good rhythm. Like I said, Lowry, Hero, Duncan, they all got in a good rhythm early in the game. So that kind of dictated how they played the rest of the game. And we got to kind of cut their water off first 5 minutes of the game, first 5 minutes of the second half. And tonight we didn't do that. We decided to play hard the last 5 minutes of the game. We were down 20.
It looked like you and Domas had like an exchange there in the fourth quarter. Obviously, it's basketball; it's emotional. So, if you don't mind, like, what was that about? And I guess how did you all just, come together at the end? Obviously, it wasn't a big thing, but it was something that was noticeable.
Definitely. I think Domas is a lot like myself. We're super, super competitive, and we both want to win, and we know that about each other. So, for us, getting on each other doesn't really mean anything for us. We both want the same thing. We both want to win games. So that happens. Basketball, there's going to be miscommunications out there. He sees something different than I see. So it's going to be that. But it's all love. That's my brother. We hugged it out right after that. But it is what it is. That's what happens. We're down 20. We're both trying to fight and win the game. Miscommunication. So we put it past us. But like I said, we're both super competitive guys in a sport that's super competitive. So stuff like that happens.
Caris, it seems like 5-6 games in a row now we've heard someone say something about playing with force or playing with effort. What have you guys tried to do to address that between each game? And since it keeps getting brought up after every game, what can you do better in that department?
We got to sell out on the defensive end. And I think at times tonight we did it, but there's still times where we're maybe thinking about our offense too much or focused on that end of the floor, and it's really just defense. And we've showed that we can do it, against good teams. The Knicks, the Bulls, we've played great defense in stretches. Tonight we played great defense. When we played them the first time, we played great defense. But it has to be a full 48 minutes. That's the the kind of team we got to be a good team.
Caris, there was boos tonight. They're down 2 starters. You're at home, and the team still loses. So, I guess, how do you all get up off the mat from here?
I think for us, like I said, just looking in the mirror and just being better. Boos are, they want to win. The fans want us to win, But I think nobody takes losing harder than the players. So, boo or not, we're going to feel it. We feel it, ourselves. So, the fans want to win. That's how it is. We don't feel any type of way about that. We want to win as well. So we just got to look in the mirror. We got to be better. We got to be better.
Caris, when they went 2-3, you guys were starting to have some success bringing them over and then swinging back to get open shots. But once they kind of figured out how to stay wide, it didn't really seem like you were getting triple penetration. So do you feel like you guys can figure out how to actually get in there with this offense?
The zone was definitely a factor in the third quarter. They kind of stifled us a little bit. We got stagnant. We couldn't, like you said, we couldn't generate good shots.
and I think that's something that we'll definitely look at. But we just got to be aggressive. We got to attack it. I think we were kind of passive. We missed a couple shots, and I feel like we were kind of passive in the zone, and we let them kind of attack us. And we didn't attack the zone. Zones, you got to attack. You got to get into the middle and play free, and we didn't do that. We kind of let them have us on our heels. We had a lot of misses to a lot of runouts for them, so we just got to do better at attacking the zone.
Myles, what stand out to you as the primary reasons for the struggle tonight?
I had talked about, putting our footprint on the game and asserting ourselves, the day prior, and we failed to do that. And they took full advantage of that in the first quarter. They hit first, and, we didn't have the proper fight that we needed to win this game until the last 5 minutes of the game. And that's way too late, and, it's unacceptable, to be honest with you.
Is the confidence level still high? Is it where you would want it to be?
It has to be. It's too early in the season to fold. We got a bunch of guys that care on this team, so I can't see that being a problem.
Myles, where does the team, I guess, go from here after this loss? When they're down 2 stars, you're at home, you're not able to get a win. So I guess how do you cultivate some fight, some energy to move forward?
Got a day off tomorrow. We flush it, and we just get ready for what's next, man. You can't. There's too many games in this season to dwell on the past. That's the great thing about the league. There's always another game, and we're at home, man. We got to take care of home. That's the best way I can describe it. We got to be better. We got to be a lot better at home.
Myles, I know there's a lot of games left in the season, but you're about a quarter way through. So, at what point do you all say, there isn't always another game, or
yeah, that's just it. That was my next point. We can't just keep saying that. It's a long season. We're a quarter of the way through the season now, and eventually you got to put your foot down, do something about it, man. We can't be an organization or a team, that accepts mediocrity, and that's what we've been playing like. So, we got to up the ante somehow, somewhere.
Myles, big picture, what pains you most about what you've seen from your team this season?
It's the fact that we're in all these games. We haven't been blown out like that, maybe a handful of times. Every game that we've been in, that we played, we've been in them at some point, late down the stretch. And the good teams, the great teams, they figure out a way to win. And if that's what we aspire to be, that's what we have to do. So I can sit here in front of y'all and tell y'all that, we're going to be better. We got to go out there and do it. That's what this is all about. So we all get paid to do. So the fans come here to see, and we got to execute it. We got to be better. Plain and simple.
Myles, how do you all, up the ante or find a way to up the ante? I know Rick has called the team out. He's pulled the starters. He's had the post-game film session. So, what other things do you think are solutions or ways to up the ante?
Find a way to win. Shit. That's the best way I can describe it. Find a fucking way to win. You can't go out here and you can do all the cute stuff you want. You can have all these defensive schemes. You can pull the starters, this, and that. It comes down to us. We're the ones out there on the floor. So start to the leaders, me, Malcolm, Domas, the guys that have been here. And we just got to find a way. I can't just give you, a magic answer or whatnot. We have to find a way to fucking win.